Welcome to Gutter Trash Spooktacular 2013 Part 5. Rachel Rising by Terry Moore. My name is Eric.
I am Jason.
We don't have a guest.
It's weird.
It is. Even though it was predicted in the last Gutter Trash Halloween episode that there would not be a guest.
I had some clairvoyance.
By prediction, I mean you fucked up and told everybody that we didn't have a guest.
Oh, I didn't know it was a secret. Why was it a secret?
It necessarily wasn't a secret, but why mention it?
I don't know.
Because you're a fool.
Maybe by mentioning it, I was hoping somebody would be like, well, I'll be your guest, and they would show up.
Well, then they would have had to read this, and they'd have to get their own copies. And what if they didn't want to go buy this book?
That's true. Well, the library might have it.
Maybe. It's possible.
Yeah.
But what if they didn't?
It's true. It's true. It would have been a dark time indeed.
A very dark time. So, this is doubly weird. We're doing a guest list. A guestless Halloween episode.
Mm-hmm.
And we're doing a comic instead of a movie.
Is that a first?
Yeah?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
We've done horror comics, but never for Halloween.
Have we done horror comics?
I mean, we did another Ben Templesmith thing.
That wasn't really a horror comic. That was a sci-fi.
Yeah, that's true.
Groom Lake.
Didn't we do... Did we not? We never have? We did Evil Ernie. Well, you did.
Yep, okay. We did that. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe not. Anything else?
Yeah. Because, I don't know. I feel like maybe we have. I don't know. It's Wolfman, the
Astounding Wolfman. I mean, that's
a superhero book.
Right. I could see that falling into straddling the categories.
Right.
But never just an actual horror.
Right. And I'm going to say that there might be a reason for that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't particularly like horror comics.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Okay.
Oh, I bet I know. I bet it's similar to the noir thing. I don't.
You and noir.
Yeah, I don't like noir comics as much because I think the music and the sounds are integral.
Right.
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
Yep. That is 100% why
right.
I don't particularly care for horror comics. Because in my opinion, because I like noir comics, but you're not a terrible fan of them.
Right.
But yeah, for me, it's the exact same thing for horror. Like movies to me are the perfect way to present a horror story.
That's true.
Because it's all about the tension and the music can or cannot play a part.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Sound. Just sound design in general and the way you frame a shot, etc., etc. And with comics, you don't get any of that. And if you accidentally turn the wrong page or whatever, you can have something spoiled
right.
for you. And there are no scares or anything like that in a horror comic that I find.
Yeah, I mean, unless they did, I guess you could do a page turn scare.
You can, but
even that, it's not it doesn't have the impact because this, the sound is a key.
Right.
I think. I see what you mean, but I think this one, it's kind of good that it is kind of a subtle, a toned down horror. It's not like it's.
Yeah, it's not over the top.
Right.
So I guess we're getting into this.
Oh, we are.
I think part of the thing about Rachel Rising, at least, is that... Well, okay, I will say this on behalf of horror comics. I think there's one thing that they can do pretty well that, on an equal level, at least, with a movie, is, visceral stuff. Just uncomfortable scenes or moments. Or just, flat out, just balls to the wall gory or anything like that.
Right.
I mean, visually...
Yeah.
They can tackle that.
Right.
But I think the build-up or suspense part of, I think that's integral to making a horror story work. You just can't get in a comic.
Right.
So, this story, I think, yeah, it's definitely, it's not so much about the scare or the suspension or I'm sorry, the suspense or that. It's about the characters,
Right.
and just sort of the weird shit that's happening to them.
Yeah, it's almost more like a. I mean, it is horror, but when usually when I think horror, I just think of like blood flying everywhere and crazy teeth like everywhere.
Right.
This is more like a supernatural kind of freaky kind of thing because it's kind of a mystery too, where you're kind of like it kind of just throws you into the middle of this thing and you don't know exactly what's going on.
Right.
Which is probably how our listeners feel whenever they turn on the show. What's going on? What are they talking about?
We are nothing if not mysterious.
Yeah, it's true. That's why the dames have such, interest. It's our mysterious allure. So yeah, Rachel Rising by Terry Moore.
Yeah, we reviewed another book of his. We did the first Echo trade paperback.
Yeah.
I think with that though, like you read the first or whatever's in the trade, and I had the single issues, and I read the entire series.
Right.
I did not do that with this. I just read the first 6 issues here, even though I've been collecting the series. I think they're on like issue 22.
Oh wow, really? Is it still going?
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Terry Moore is apparently a very, well, I don't know about very, but he is at least successful enough. Independent comic creator.
Yeah.
Self-publisher, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Which is cool. He deserves it.
Yeah. He's a talented man.
He is a talented man. He's a good artist. He's a good writer. He's clearly loves doing it. I mean, this is his 3rd series.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
3rd long sustaining series.
Yeah, I feel like he could totally be making more money doing art in a different medium.
Sure. Yeah.
Or doing, Avengers or something.
Right.
If he
I mean, he tried. There were a couple years back in the early 2000s where he was doing a little bit of work here and there.
Oh, really?
DC. Yeah.
Really? I don't even remember that.
Yeah, he wrote, I want to say he wrote the Spider-Man or Mary Jane Loves Spider-Man series.
That's right. Wow, yeah.
And I think he even wrote a couple of issues of Birds of Prey.
Okay.
Yeah, back in the early 2000s.
Huh.
So I mean, he's dabbled,
right?
Yeah, and I know he's drawn some stuff for Marvel too.
Wow.
But he's never fully done that,
It's not been his main career,
right? And I mean, he's with Stranger in Paradise. I mean, he clearly gained enough of a fan base that he could just do this, his own thing forever. And I mean,
that's awesome.
Who doesn't want to do that?
Right.
Yeah.
It's the dream, baby.
Right. And I mean, he may have struggles that we're unaware of, in doing that.
Or he might sell drugs on the side.
Sure, whatever.
Right.
But he's doing it.
Yeah, he's making it happen.
Yeah.
You do what you need to. Walter White. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. So what you're saying is that Terry Moore is the Walter White of comics.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, basically. I mean, we all know it. We just... So what's this book about?
I don't know. I was going to look for credits to see who his Jesse Pinkman was.
Does he have like a inker?
Editor or something.
Oh, okay.
It just says story and art by Terry Moore. So he's doing it all on his own.
He's the man.
Yeah. So the story is about, at least within the first 6 issues, which is what we both read, the first trade, basically, is about a woman named Rachel who wakes up in a grave. And she...
It's a shallow grave.
It's a very shallow grave, and it's out in the middle of the woods.
So she's able to...
Yeah, she claws her way out, and she manages to make it back home, and just weird things are happening. Most importantly is the fact that she does not seem to be realizing this, but she is dead.
Right. Or at least, at one point in the story, it seems like somebody says, well, we think you're dead, but you might actually be in some sort of, stasis,
Right.
Like your nerves are not working.
She's, halfway between alive and dead.
very, very, very weak heartbeat.
Right. Yeah, they mentioned at one point her heart beats about maybe 6 times a minute,
Yeah.
which is apparently low.
Yeah, that seems low.
I mean, I don't know anything. I'm not a doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah, she can't really feel pain anymore. She's really not breathing. Her skin is cold to the touch. She's very pale. And her eyes are completely bloodshot, as if, I mean, and by bloodshot, I don't mean like she, drank heavily.
Right.
They are just
red.
right.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so she's a...
And she also has a strangulation wound of a rope
Right.
around her neck. So, for all intents and purposes, she is The Walking Dead.
Right.
But not the TV show or the other comic.
No. Yeah, no copyright infringement there. Yeah, and basically it's cool too because she can still, she's more articulate than you or I even, which isn't saying a ton.
No,
but
we are really just above
zombie level.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
I mean, and by that, I also mean we are just below Return of the Living Dead zombie level.
Right, yeah.
So, like, in between. That's us.
Yeah, at least we found our spot.
Right. I mean, in any given situation, you and I would not be able to think far enough in advance to kill some cops and then call in to send more cops.
No, not at all. No. I did see you take off all your clothes and dance on a gravestone once, but...
Right. That was just a crazy Thursday.
Yeah. You'd had one too many lemonades.
It was a sugar rush.
Yeah, it happens. So yeah, but it throws you in the first issue, and she's just digging her way out of this grave. And...
Yep. And we don't know how she got there. We don't know, what exactly happened to her. But clearly she was murdered. And buried in the shallow grave in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
But then later on in the issue, a similar thing happens to some other characters too.
Oh yeah.
So there appears to be a pattern, maybe even a ritual of some sort.
Yeah, and there's a very mysterious lady who's kind of roaming around towards the beginning of the first issue and throughout all of them.
Right.
Who seems to have some sort of connection, or I don't know if a causing or if just a knowledge of what's going on.
Yeah, she shows up, and only certain people can see her, apparently.
Oh, yeah, that's important, too.
But, yeah, she's not directly responsible for any of it, but she is around while all of this crazy stuff is happening.
Yeah, her presence definitely coincides with all the horror.
Right.
And at one point, she actually appears to Rachel, because like you said, only certain people can see her. Rachel's one of the people who can see her, and she appears in some sort of like, ancient maiden garb.
Well, I wouldn't say ancient, but old-timey.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like something from hundreds of years ago.
Right.
But not like, Sumerians. but, and then, and she mentions, she calls her sister.
Right.
Which I thought, they would go into more, but they didn't really in these issues, at least.
You gotta stay hooked.
Yeah, there's
keep on reading.
Right, because this isn't like the end of the story. I mean, it's like an ongoing thing.
Volume 1.
Right. Yeah.
And by if you will, I mean you will.
You will. Yeah. Oh yeah. You should. So, does that mean are you a fan of this?
I am. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been buying them anyway from the get-go.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I'm a fan of his work.
Oh yeah.
Like I read. I fell behind on Strangers in Paradise, and it has taken me a very long time to fill in the gaps.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of haven't read that in years.
I don't know why I've never read that book.
Yeah, I'd recommend it.
Yeah.
Very good. My ex-girlfriend actually bought me, and I'm sure I talked about this when we
did that go. It sounds familiar.
But, my ex-girlfriend bought me, like, the first 7 trade paperbacks because she was such a fan.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, at least read the first one, and if you're not hooked, then, I'll, take them back, or whatever.
Right.
And I read the first one, and I was hooked.
Right.
And then within a week, I had read all 7 volumes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then, I just sort of fell off of it for a while, and I've filled in some gaps within the past couple of years or so of the trades that I'm missing.
Mm-hmm.
But then, Echo, I was getting that from the get-go, and like I said, I read every issue of that when we reviewed the first 6. So yeah, I'm a Terry Moore fan.
Yeah.
I'm a supporter.
I liked Echo. I thought it was decent.
Yeah.
But I never did read anything past what we did for the show. And like I said, I never have read Strangers of Paradise, but I like this one a lot. Like I think I'll definitely check out some more of these.
Cool.
Because it is, it's like a real mysterious, weird, low-key, subtle kind of horror story.
Right.
And it just has like a unique feel to it. It doesn't feel like, I don't know, most horror anything,
right.
comics or movies or whatever that I've read.
I think that's, part of the Terry Moore thing is that he is always more focused on the character building.
Oh, yeah.
Like the overall.
He's great with that.
Yeah. Because, you get, and some of them are tropes of characters he's done before. And,
right.
And, it is one of those things where his art style is like a specific way, and sometimes some of the characters I thought looked like other characters from other stories that he's done, or even within the same story, I got a little confused.
Right, there was 1 or 2 times I was like, "Is that her?"
Right, yeah.
Like the girl that pops out of the. There's a great scene where Rachel's in a bathroom and this lady walks in and she's engaged to her husband or her fiance.
Yeah, that's a good scene.
She was really excited about this jewelry that she gave her, and Rachel helps her put it on. And just as she touches her, she gets this vision, and she's like, "You will die, and evil will haunt your body." And and she doesn't even know this lady, so it's not like she's just fucking with her friend. And
right.
That was great. And then this lady pops out of the stall, and I thought it was her friend, the musician.
I thought so too.
Then I realized they had different clothes on because
her friend was still out to jamming it.
Right.
Yeah.
But they both had
dark hair and similar faces.
Right.
But I think that's a problem with every artist, though. Terry Moore unfortunately doesn't have the benefit of having his
color.
books colored.
Right. Yeah.
But not to say that he's a bad artist at all, because I really like his work.
Oh yeah.
I think actually I kind of loved his work in this more than I've seen in his other books.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Especially all because the grave is kind of in the middle of the woods, and there's a lot of awesome nature kind of scenes, and then whenever they go to the city, there's a lot of cityscape stuff that's really, really cool. So it's not even, characters are definitely his strong points. He's got anatomy down.
Right.
And he likes to draw kind of curvaceous ladies, which is,
nothing wrong with
nothing wrong. It's good to look at. No one turns that down.
Right.
But it's that's his strong suit is people. But in this, everything he draws looks amazing.
There was the scene, I can't remember the issue, but where Rachel is on the roof of a building and she winds up falling off of it.
Right.
And but just I was looking at the detail on the buildings and on the roof and like the bricks. And, and I was just like, holy shit, this is great.
Yeah, but it's cool too because it's not like Jeff Darrow style where he draws every single brick. It's just he draws just enough of it to give you a feel of everything. And then,
you know what? I'm gonna digress here for a second.
Oh,
because the new Shaolin Cowboy just came out, and I read it the other day. And I love Jeff Darrow. He's great. But Jeff Darrow's a trickster.
Oh?
Jeff Darrow makes you think that he has drawn every last possible detail.
Right.
He does not.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not sure that I understand.
He draws a lot of detail.
Uh-huh.
There's no denying that. But he cheats on it a little bit.
Ooh, really?
And he's able to pull off to make you think that he has drawn every single detail.
I was like, I think he's drawn every brick on the buildings I've watched, or that I've read.
Right.
Huh.
Yeah, I think he knows just when to pull enough back.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
He is a master.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Unlike, let's say, Juan Jose Rip.
Yeah, I like that guy.
That guy's fine, but he does draw every last detail, and it's cluttered.
Yeah, right.
But Jeff Darrow I don't think he is ever cluttered.
No,
and he draws
that is bizarre too.
a
Yeah,
ton of shit,
yeah.
but never cluttered.
It's
you
true.
can always tell what's happening and what everything is.
Well, he draws a lot of thick lines on the edges of his characters too, and then like thin, yeah, and then like thin lines inside. So like the thick lines are really good to separate everything.
Right.
But yeah, okay, I'll have to look at that.
Yeah. I mean, not to say that he doesn't draw a lot of detail.
Right.
He does.
Yes. Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's no way you could argue that.
Right.
And there's no way anyone could argue that. I'd love to see a piece of artwork that someone compared Jeff Darrow's to show you that Jeff Darrow doesn't draw a lot of detail.
Right.
I would love to see that piece of artwork. But yeah. That's cool. I'll check it out.
But yeah, Terry Moore, he's drawing a lot of detail here, but definitely not on a Jeff Darrow or a Juan Jose Rip level. Just enough.
Yeah. Yeah, and that scene you're talking about where she falls off the roof, one of my favorite drawn panels in the entire series was when she lands on the car. It's just amazing looking.
Oh, yeah.
Like I could almost hear it. Like, that's the scene I could almost... Like, that, the sound would add a lot, but I could almost actually hear the impact of her on the car just because of the way it was drawn.
Right. I think that's a more visceral thing. And also a testament to, his abilities as just a storyteller to be able to capture the perfect moment on paper.
Oh, yeah.
And I think there's not a ton of artists out there who can really do that well. Like, I think Terry Moore obviously can do it well, Eric Larson, Mike Mignola, and...
the guy that draws Veggie Saturn, I can't remember his name.
No, he's kind of weak.
Yeah. But he has more detail than Darrow, though. That's, that's the best thing about
Rachel Rising, that's what we're talking
about.
about.
Oh, yeah, Rachel Rising. No, about the... What was it about the car thing? I was going to say something else about the car. I don't know. Oh, no, that's what it is. Like you're talking about his storytelling.
Right.
There's even a lot of scenes where, his stories move really fast. I mean, these comics are full of detail and full of dialogue, but I can read one in 5 minutes because they just move really, really fast.
Oh, yeah. Like I actually read, I think, 4 of these issues, like, within an hour.
Oh, yeah. At least, right? But, I think it is his storytelling style because everything kind of just, like, it doesn't slow you down at all. Like, every panel kind of just points you right to the next panel.
Right.
There's a scene where, she turns on the shower head and all you see is the shower head, but it's, like, pointed towards the next panel and it's pointed towards the next panel. It's just, everything has a great flow to it where
oh, yeah.
he really knows how to lay out a page instead of just laying out a panel.
Yeah. Even, like, slow moments. It's like I'm actually looking at the car crashing panel now. That's a great panel. But, like, the following page is just sort of an aftermath shot.
Oh, yeah.
And it's, like, 3 panels, but, like, they're all just... they're just brilliantly done.
Yeah.
Just to give you just enough to know, like, what's happened, and, just kind of slow the story down for just a second.
Oh, yeah. Like after a big event.
Right.
Yeah, he's quite possibly a living master of the art form.
Yeah. Well, again, he's been doing this for years now. And there's like 100 issues of Strangers in Paradise. 30
That's crazy.
and
wow, I didn't realize Strangers went that... So there's like a dozen or more trades than...
Like total trades, I think there's like 18.
Wow.
Yeah. So, you're only... you do something that long, you're likely only going to get really good at it.
It's like how our podcast gets better and better every year.
Yep.
I mean, if you listen to some of those early ones, it's like you would think we're dumb and we don't know what we're talking about. But you tune in now and you're like, honed professionals.
Oh, yeah. It's the 10,000 hour rule.
All right.
Where if you to get really good at something, you have to do it for 10,000 hours.
You're right.
I mean, clearly, with the past month alone.
Yeah, we've got 1,000 hours in this month. Yeah. Oh, man. So, Aunt Johnny.
Uh-huh.
What the hell?
But what do you mean, what the hell?
Why is it Aunt Johnny? It's a dude, right?
No, it's not a dude.
It's not?
No.
It's a lady.
Yeah, it's a lady.
Okay.
I'm guessing possibly, maybe, I don't know, lesbian?
Well, that's what
Kind of butch?
That's what I thought at first, but Johnny? Like...
Joanna, it could be anything. You know?
Okay. Okay.
I don't know. I'm 99% sure it's a lady.
I was confused, like, because I read this twice. I read it all of it, like a week ago one night, and then when I reread it in the last day or so, I was like, oh, maybe that's not a lady. Like, I thought it was a lady the entire first time I read the series.
Right.
But this time I was like, no, it's a dude. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe it's a transgender situation.
It's possible. Yeah.
I don't know. But, I'm sticking with she's a lady and has some sort of feminine name that can be shortened or
right.
nicknamed to Johnny.
Maybe I hadn't even thought about the transgender thing. That's possible too.
Entirely possible.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Interesting.
I'm going with lady.
All right.
Yeah.
And then is the doctor that appears as his name Dr. Seaman?
That I am not so sure about.
It's like Seiman.
Yeah. I think when I first read it, that was the first thing that popped in my head. But then I forced myself to go for Simon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Simon does kind of conjure up, kind of brainy kind of characters like from Alvin and the Chipmunks. I think
sure.
Simon, and then when you think Dr. Seaman, you're like, oh, this is
gonna go horrible.
This is a DVD that's $5 in the porno store's bin. Dr. Seaman.
Well, Dr. Seaman, if that is his name, does seem to have some sort of creepy side story going on.
A little creepy, right? Yeah.
So we don't know what the deal with him is yet.
Yeah, he seems creepy from the onset with his smile and his interest in Slayer songs, but then like when you see his, he keeps calling her the Angel of Death. But then when you actually get to see him away from the main characters doing his own thing,
right?
Yeah, he's real creepy.
Oh yeah, super creepy.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think we can all agree that people who smile too much are super creepy.
Right? Yeah. People who smile and have a bodily fluid as their last name.
Right.
Yeah.
And then there's a couple of subplots going on, such as the woman that Rachel meets in the bathroom that she predicts her death.
Oh yeah.
And I honestly thought that was just going to be some kind of weird throwaway thing.
Yeah.
Like it's just us discovering that Rachel has this other ability that we didn't know about before.
Right.
But no, she becomes integral to the story too.
Yep. Yeah.
But also still a complete mystery as to what's exactly happening. But it's also weird and gross.
Yeah. Yeah. She has a pet snake that does really cool things.
Oh, yeah. And then there's a little girl also who's involved.
Zoe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Zoe's awesome.
Yeah.
Maybe my favorite character in the book, actually.
Yeah.
She's great.
She's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So we're getting. I mean, it's a volume 1 where we're getting a lot of build up and set pieces.
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of a master at giving you just enough that you feel like you're not being led around by your nose.
Right.
But there's so much mystery, and builds and builds as it goes. It's not like there's one mystery in the first issue and they're dragging it out.
Right.
It's really well done.
Right. It's weird. I mean, I guess that there's a little bit of connective tissue between them, but like I did that solo review for the book Revival a couple months ago.
Revival. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You were busy, and it was going to be my next gutter trash pick, and then I read it, and I was like, it just wasn't satisfying as like a single volume. But I mean, there's a they're both about people returning to life, after being dead.
Okay.
And just sort of the weird mystery surrounding like the circumstances of that, and then other just weird, crazy, supernatural stuff that's happening. Both independent comics, etc.
Right.
So, like, while reading Rachel Rising, I kept getting flashes of Revival. And, I mean, there's still two, like, completely different types of stories, and I do recommend both.
Okay.
But, like, I still strongly feel like whatever the first volume of Revival just wasn't a good standalone thing.
Right.
Whereas I felt with this one, like, even though there's no real conclusive ending to it, I still felt more satisfied with the 6 issues.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It feels like, I mean, I think we've mentioned this on another book, and I don't remember which one, but it feels like a season finale at the end of this, where you're like, wow, that was crazy. There's obviously more, but, it gives you that sort of, like, taste of closure, at least.
Right.
Yeah. Really, really well done.
Very
man.
well done.
Yeah. I might have to borrow some more of these from you, or I'll get them at the library if you're still reading them or whatever.
I'll be more than happy to let you borrow them.
Sweet. I might wait a while because, like, I don't know that I have any interest in reading any more horror related or watching any more horror related stuff for a few weeks. But
I understand.
Right? But yeah. I feel like there was another character I was gonna mention that was cool.
There's Jet.
Oh yeah,
my best friend, who is probably my least favorite character so far.
Really?
Yeah.
She has some of the like humor though, like
yeah,
because it needs a little humor.
Right.
Like there's a scene.
There's a thing that plays out with her that is definitely gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
Trying not to spoil too much.
Yeah, we're not trying to be like overtly weird and mysterious, but yeah, apparently her and Jet have been friends since childhood,
right?
And so
I mean, they do have a good rapport with each other,
right?
But like the character, I felt up to a point was not particularly interesting.
I liked her. I actually liked that character. The only I don't know of any characters that I just wish weren't in there. I don't think there are any.
The dude, Noah. The lady.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Just trying to point at characters, see if you can.
I love this guy that works at the morgue.
The big burly.
Yeah, I love that guy.
Yeah.
The guy he has like a sick mother or something, but I love that guy. I forget his name. I just saw him. I was flipping through one of these issues, but I mean, there's like 20 characters in this book, but and they're all so distinct,
Right. Yeah, good stuff. I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah, me too.
I liked it.
I honestly didn't expect as much from this because I felt like horror would be a genre Terry Moore might not be a strong suit, but I think this is my favorite thing I've read by him.
Right.
Granted, this is the second thing I've read by him,
Sure.
but yeah.
I think that shows, definitely that he's got a lot of diverse tastes and is able to pull them off.
Right.
Strangers in Paradise being, like a romance / crime comic, and Echo being like, hard sci-fi, and this definitely,
that is
supernatural mystery.
That is impressive. Yeah. Because he retains his style through all.
Oh yeah.
But yeah.
I'm curious to see, though, because Echo apparently turned out to be in the Strangers in Paradise universe.
Oh, okay.
Towards the end of the series, like there was a character revealed that had been a major player in the Strangers in Paradise. So I'd be curious to find if
this one does too.
Winds up bringing in a character.
That would be weird. Yeah.
I mean, she wasn't a major player in Echo, but it was just like, oh, hey.
Just enough to, yeah, right.
Yeah, just whatever.
So do you think, this wouldn't be too much of a spoiler, but basically there's the area where the graves are being built,
right.
being dug or whatever. They mentioned that it was once a witch graveyard. Like there's 100 witches buried there. What do you think that's gonna have to do with, is it like some sort of cursed ground and anyone that's buried there comes to life? Is it?
Could be. I don't know.
I guess.
Well, because I don't. There's a character who doesn't get buried there who comes back to life too.
Oh yeah. Is there? Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. But I'm sure it does play a part. In the goings on.
That's true.
Although I honestly didn't remember that it was apparently a witch burial ground until you just said it now.
Oh yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe it's not a major plot point.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure.
I just remember. Well, they mentioned because this might jar because when Uncle Johnny or Aunt Johnny goes there with Rachel, he says something. She says something about it's weird that all the teenagers make out at the place where all these witches were buried or something. And he says it's 100 years ago, or she says it's 100 years ago, which I swear I'm not doing that on purpose. She says it's 100 years ago, which makes me think since it's exactly 100 years ago, maybe that's part of some sort of spell or something.
Very well could be. I mean, yeah, if it gets mentioned, I'm sure it's got to pay off at some point, right?
Right. Yeah, you'd think so. Yeah. He's a good storyteller, so I would think so.
Right. So yeah, I'm sure it has something to do with it. It'll be interesting to see this unfold.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. This would make a good movie.
It would make a good movie. It's actually, I believe, been developed for a TV show.
Oh, really? Okay.
So this could very well be the next Walking Dead.
I hope so. I just hope Charlie Allard doesn't start drawing it.
Such an ass.
Yeah, good stuff. I like it. Quite a good read. Very good read.
Well, we have the option here of taking a break, or we can just keep going and just do a little chit chat here, wrap things up.
Yeah, sure.
Our final
Halloween thing. Wow,
Halloween
it's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy.
I think it went well so far.
Yeah, I had a good time.
Yeah. I mean, it was a crazy month for us.
It was.
Between my own personal stuff with my dad, and then trying to cram in apparently as many podcasts as I could in a week.
Right. You were going for a Guinness record, but you fell a couple shy.
With my dad going on, I honestly did think that I might have to skip a week on something.
Oh yeah.
But we managed to pull it off.
Good for us.
Yeah, and I would say for next Halloween, definitely we shouldn't do 5.
No,
this was a mistake.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe we could just make all of the regular ones Halloween episodes and do one extra bonus Halloween episode.
That sounds
close
to a plan.
So we do 5 total.
Yeah.
And they're all Halloween.
Yeah.
That makes more sense.
Yeah, I like that.
As if we'll both be alive next Halloween.
That's true.
Yeah. If you die first, though, I will drag you to a forest and bury you in a shallow grave. I promise.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'll do the same for you.
Sweet. Yeah. Just don't burn my body.
We've pretty much talked about all of our Halloween plans up to this point.
Yeah, I don't think anything's happened Halloween-wise that I didn't mention. I don't think I'm going to get to carve a jack-o'-lantern this year.
It's the one thing you've been talking about.
But, you know what? I am going to, it's kind of become a tradition for me to carve a jack-o'-lantern even if I'm the only person in the house doing it.
Right.
And usually, a lot of times I would go to my friends Michelle and Tracy's house and carve with them.
Right.
Michelle is actually in the hospital and will be past Halloween.
Right.
So we're not going to do that this year. So there is one other thing though that I haven't been able to do the last probably 3 or 4 years,
Trick or
maybe.
treat?
No, I've done that every year. No, but I'm excited because I always like either am doing something else, like I was working at one point, can you believe it? Or I just forgot. But this Thursday at 8:00 on Halloween night, it's the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown will be on, and I'm gonna watch that because I haven't seen it in years. It's been years, so I'm pretty excited.
There.
Not a fan.
No.
Of that particularly, or Charlie Brown in general, or what?
Charlie Brown in general.
Really?
Yeah.
That surprises me.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Not a Peanuts guy.
You know,
Never really have been either.
I didn't like the cartoons that much at all when I was a kid. I mean, I'd watch them because I'd watch any cartoon, but they were not my favorite cartoons.
Right.
But I love them now, and I've always loved the actual comic.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I had like some Snoopy stuff when I was a kid, but I mean, I was never a Peanuts guy.
I had a Snoopy toothbrush and soap holder.
When I was in kindergarten, and my parents still have it, in my old bedroom at their house, I took a tin can and turned it into a Snoopy head, and it's a pencil holder.
Aw. How did you do? Would you draw a picture of Snoopy?
No, you wrapped it in white construction paper, glued like some pink construction paper or not pink, but like black construction paper
For his ears? Okay.
And like one of those weird, like styrofoam, like hard styrofoam.
Coffee cups or something?
No, it's like I wish I could describe it. It's like a ball.
Okay.
And it's like I think like some people use them for like Christmas decorations.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But it was cut in half and glued it on the front of it, and then
For a
glued
snout?
a little black piece of cotton on the top
wow.
of that for a snout.
That's awesome.
And then paper eyes.
That's awesome that they still have it.
Right?
I still have the soap dish and the toothbrush.
Yeah.
I saw them when I was cleaning out the basement.
There may be a Snoopy magnet on my parents' fridge holding, like, emergency numbers to call
Right.
in case one of them had a heart attack.
Right. Like a MetLife thing, or
No, like
just an actual
from
Snoopy?
when I was a kid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you ever have like Joe Cool T-shirts or anything? I did. I totally had Joe Cool T-shirts.
I can see that.
Yeah. Is that an insult? We better not say.
Yeah, I was. I mean, like, honestly, like I've never really been huge into comic strips.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
That surprises me.
Like, I mean, I liked some Garfield.
Bloom County, probably. No, really.
No.
Far Side.
Far Side, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Like,
You're a Dilbert guy, I can tell, right?
yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Like when I was a kid, probably like 7 or 8, like I was like cutting out comic strips and like pasting them like in a book. And stuff,
yeah.
Like never for long enough, and like I don't think I even read half of them.
Right.
It's just sort of a different medium of comics.
Oh, it totally is different. And I honestly have always loved comic strips. Like I even had like Heathcliff collections and Garfield collections and Far Side collections when I was a kid, and Calvin and Hobbes. But I've always read them. Like even the ones I didn't like,
Right.
like I would read them, and I still read the ones I don't like. But yeah,
Circus.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, it totally is different. And
I mean, I'm impressed by it. Don't get me wrong. Like anyone who, like on a daily basis, can do 3-panel
Right.
jokes,
yeah, right.
and then like a bigger one on Sundays. Like that's super impressive that can be done.
Right.
But like,
It seems so unnerving. Like, like how they say postal workers get that fear. Like, then the mail never stops.
Right.
Like it would be that for me if I had to do it every day. Where I would love to try it, but I would be so afraid that like every day I'd be like, oh my god, there's something due at the end of the day,
Right, yeah.
and it has to be finished.
I mean, like I do the sketch a day thing, and even
Yeah,
that gets unnerving to me at that time.
It would be like that, right?
Yeah. And I mean, what I do is just stupid bullshit.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, like I've just never gotten into comic strips, and I think like as an extension of that, I never even got into like any web comics.
Right.
Like it's just something that's not for me.
Yeah, American Elf's the only webcomic I really got into, but I would honestly say I'm more into comic strips than I've ever been, and like usually I would rather read I would rather sit down with a book of comic strips and read that than I would actual comics, like usually. Like I was actually reading some Shoe yesterday while I was taking a dump. I have a collection of Shoe comics.
No, yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah. But okay, like I have bought, or not bought, but like got it from the library. Especially when I was younger, like Garfield collections.
Oh yeah.
And one of my friends lent me like one of the like giant collections of Calvin and Hobbes strips.
Oh yeah, those are good.
And like I would always check out like the Far Side collections from the library and whatever. And I always enjoyed reading those like as a collection.
Right.
But like just on a daily basis, like I can't do it.
Yeah, it's good stuff. This might be an excellent time for me to plug something I've never plugged on here.
Ooh.
I actually do a comic strip that I've only done for, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 months now.
Uh-huh.
Once every other week, you can, if you're in the Dayton area, pick up...
that needs to be specified.
Yeah.
Only if you're in the Dayton area.
Well, but the Dayton area is huge because it goes from, like, Springboro to Tip City.
Sure, but we have listeners in Chicago
right.
and North Carolina.
Well, those listeners can see it online because it's called Telephone Magazine. It's a free magazine. It's kind of like an artsier city paper kind of thing, and it's all over the place. But
it's free,
and it's free. Yeah.
So that tells you the quality of it. It's a free arts magazine.
That doesn't necessarily mean anything.
Necessarily.
And but you can also read it online at telephoneweekly.com. And they update it every week, so or every other week.
Right. Yeah. And how long have you been doing this?
I was still working when I started it, so
like July-ish?
Yeah, July, August, July. Yeah, right. I think so. Yeah.
And how often have you been paid for this?
I'm up to date. I'm currently up to date. Oh, I don't want to go into that. There was a brief period where I think they forgot that they were supposed to be PayPaling me the fee, but we're all good now. Everything's kosher.
So you are a professional cartoonist.
I am literally a professional cartoonist.
Now making $20 a month.
That's right.
Okay.
No, is it? Is that what it is? Yeah, you're right. Because it's every other week. Yeah. Yeah. That's all I need. That's like 20 cans of beans right there. Yeah, almost one per day. If I space it out and have like 5/8 of a can per day, I'm good. For life, baby. And I'm actually gonna hopefully put a collection together and print it up for space.
Yeah.
So.
Well, there we go.
Yeah.
So something that everybody could read for free, you're gonna then put together in a book and charge money for.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
It's like American Elf, right? Like
yeah.
I couldn't. I don't know why I couldn't pass it up when I worked at Mavericks and they would put out collections. Of like, these are all online for free, and I've read them all already. But I'm like, I'll buy it. I might want to read it again when I'm, like, not near a computer.
Right.
So.
Hey,
it's weird.
It works sometimes.
Yeah.
Some people will do that and be successful.
Well, I'm also gonna add an extra. The back cover is gonna be
exclusive
a
content.
color Sunday style strip.
Exclusive content.
That's right.
That's what you mean.
Yeah.
Right?
I'll get the bastards one way or the other.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah. It's called Revolve, by the way. Yeah, the comic strip. All right. So thanks for letting me plug away.
No problem. I'm surprised that we hadn't done it until now.
Yeah, me too, actually. I don't know why.
Shame.
I was waiting for you to bring it up.
Mostly shame.
Yeah. Mostly, yeah.
I'm ashamed for you.
And of me.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
There's probably one person we should have on the show for a Halloween special that we've just, it's going to be impossible to ever get him here. But, Kurt Dinse would be perfect for one of these.
Oh, yes, he would. He likes the horror.
He does love the horror, and I know he does it big for Halloween. Like he goes the full, what crazy people do for Christmas.
Oh, really?
He does one of those for Halloween.
Does he have like a backyard haunted house and all that?
Yeah, I imagine he does.
Awesome.
I imagine that. That's just year round anyway.
Right.
But,
yeah. It's the neighborhood he lives in.
Right. Yeah. We don't know what he's really doing down in that pungent basement.
No, right? Yeah. Anybody that lives in something that is a self-proclaimed, pungent basement,
right?
He's got to be a dirty, filthy horror lover.
Filthy horror
lover. Yes.
He's probably also a filthy whore. But,
oh yeah.
That's just between him and his wife, I guess.
What? I don't know. I would think if he was a whore, he would be out on the street with, anonymous people.
Well, yeah, but just his business.
Oh, you're right. Okay. Oh, yeah, because she's privy to all the behind the curtain kind of stuff. Yeah. Okay. I got you.
She's his pimp, really.
Oh, okay. Yeah. She does have a fuzzy hat, doesn't she? Does she wear a fuzzy hat?
I don't know.
I have never seen her.
Yeah,
Nice picture with a fuzzy hat and a cane.
Yeah.
Maybe a collared jacket.
Right. Leopard.
Oh yeah, you gotta go
cane.
Right.
The money symbol on the
right.
The handle.
Right.
And the platform boots with the goldfish swimming around in them.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
I've honestly just described a character from a comic I came up with when I was a senior in high school.
Yeah. Pimp lady?
Lady pimp, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. There was a whole team. Funk Man and the Legion of Funk. And, there was a pimp lady. And
she had goldfish in her shoes?
She did, yeah.
Well, nice.
Yeah. There was a character named Big Mountain who was a Rastafarian who was just a skinny stoner dude, but he had super strength.
Nice. Wow.
There was a thing that happened once.
I'd love to see that.
I don't know that I have any of that floating around anymore.
I showed you all my shitty artwork from my childhood.
Yeah.
So I'd love to see you dig some of that up.
If I can find it, I will definitely show it to you.
Sweet. But you mentioned Kurt. Are we going to go visit him?
Unfortunately, we can't.
No.
I would like to eventually again.
Yeah.
Mostly just for a chance to go back to Chicago. I'd enjoy that. But then Kurt is just sort of a side effect of that.
He's the after dinner mint to our Chicago dining experience.
Yeah. But since we can't actually have Kurt here on the show with us, I figured we'd go ahead and play one of his micro interviews.
Sweet, micro interview.
Yeah, so take it away, Kurt.
This is Kurt Dinse for the Gutter Trash Podcasting Network, and I'm at Horror Hound Cincinnati. I'm here with Baron von Porkchop. Today we'll be doing the 3 questions, while the 1 question, he's had 3 choices. And here is his question and or answer.
I think the question was, what was my first job, right?
Yes, correct.
My first job ever, when I was a wee lad back in Germany, I was a meat chopper. I chopped meat, dead meat, and then we would throw them into a big vat, and people would buy it from us.
There you have it. Thank you.
Thanks, Kurt.
Yeah.
You're the man.
You are the man.
Hope he's got kids, right? He's got 2 kids. So you're gonna take him trick or treating? Does he say?
I don't know how old his kids are. Maybe they're too old for trick or treating now.
You're never too old for trick or treating.
Yeah, unless you live in my family.
Right.
I was 12 when they told me to stop trick or treating.
It is a little off-putting when you see like the high schoolers age dudes.
I hate that. But like I said, I was 12 when it was decided that I shouldn't go trick or treating anymore.
Right.
But I mean, I'm a big dude. Not just as a giant fat ass, but I'm a tall guy.
Right.
And so like I'm 6'3" now, but like even when I was 12, I was like maybe 5'11".
Right. Yeah. So they thought you were older.
Yeah, and so I got a lot of that. Like when I was going around trick or treating, still like you're too old to be tricking, even though I was wearing a full mask. I got a lot of that, and that kind of upset me a little bit because I was 12.
You still like candy?
Yeah.
Right.
At 35, I still like candy.
Right. Yeah, it seems like high school would be the cutoff. Like, once you start high school, it's like, okay.
Right, yeah.
You can still buy the candy and eat it.
Right.
But, you're probably going to be driving soon. You don't really need to be trick-or-treating.
Yeah, if you're looking forward to getting your driver's permit, that's probably when you should stop trick-or-treating.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's like two motivators in life. There's the candy phase, and then there's the pussy phase.
Right.
And the driving, you don't
it's
really...
It's a good instigator.
Yeah. You can't really say that you want to drive for any other reason than to get the pussy.
Right, exactly.
And
I mean, that never worked for me. But, I can't deny that.
Maybe you didn't have a sweet-ass ride. Like
I did not. I had a Geo Prism.
See, I had a Subaru... what was it? A Subaru station wagon. It was a chick magnet.
You got plenty of room in the back to lay down.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I had no room in the back for anything.
Oh, that's too bad.
It was a Geo Prism.
See, yeah, that was a bad... I mean, you should have got like a van or something. That would have been the way to go.
What could you do?
My second car was a van. I was like, the station wagon's just not big enough. It was a minivan, but, I was a small guy, so it was big enough.
Trick or treating, something, I don't know what we're
We
got distracted by pussy.
Oh, Kurt, I wonder if he's taking his kids trick-or-treating.
Oh, yeah.
I hope so. That'd be cool.
That'd be cool. If they're young enough.
Yeah.
I imagine Kurt has fun if he's the guy that takes them out.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe his wife does, I don't know. What would a Kurt prefer? Does he prefer to give out the candy, or does he prefer to be out with his kids trick-or-treating?
I see, if I had kids, I would love to take them out, but I do love sitting at home passing out candy.
Right.
That is fun.
I mean, they both involve, if you think about it, both of them could be construed as work.
Right.
Keep an eye on my kids, or I gotta hand out candy to all these kids.
Right.
I'm sure Kurt probably even would prefer to just, dress up and go trick-or-treating himself.
Oh, yeah.
As a man in his late 30s, early 40s, it probably would get frowned upon. Yeah.
I wonder if, like, small people, like dwarfs and midgets, if they can just trick-or-treat forever, Because they're in costume, they're small.
Yeah.
Man, see, there's always a silver lining.
Peter Dinklage is out there just raking in candy.
Who's that?
He's a midget actor.
Okay.
And apparently Kurt's favorite person in the world.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
That's sort of why I mentioned it.
Well, he should go as that guy for Halloween. I don't know how he would do that.
I don't know either. Put some shoes on your knees and
there you go.
You just have to walk around like that. I'm sure that would be painful.
Oh.
After a while.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. Right.
All right. If we were the kind of people who would have social lives and have what is stereotypically thought of as fun, and we got invited to like costume parties or something like that, what would you go as?
I always liked making up my own character. Like I remember once I went as Clarence the Evil Mime, and I just went as a mime, and I just painted my face up, and then I like sprayed blood all over me, and I carried around this like fake sickle.
Right.
And I like had a sign hanging around my neck that said Clarence the Evil Mime. And I didn't speak the entire night. Like I hung out with my friends and it was like 6 hours of not saying a word. It was great. like I kind of like after that night I was like, man, I should do that all the time and just take a vow of silence, But I would probably just make up a superhero or supervillain or something.
That's cool. The mime thing that reminds me of what happened to us yesterday.
What happened yesterday?
When we went to go get Chinese food.
Oh, yeah.
The guy was sitting across from us, and he looked like he wanted to have a conversation with us.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, he was, like, waiting on his food as well.
Yeah.
But he just looked so, like...
Like he was a talker. Like he He was talking to, like, the guy at the counter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, he definitely wanted to have some sort of conversation with us, and we
like I think you put your head in your hands, basically.
like I leaned down for a while, like I was just staring at the floor, like we were clearly like there together, and like not talking to each other,
right?
So I think you got the clue that we just weren't going to be having any of it.
Yeah, but he was like 3 feet away, and I swear, like I could feel his gaze, and I don't mind, like I really don't mind talking to people in public, like if I'm waiting on my food or something, like hey, nice weather and blah blah blah. But I just got the feeling that this guy was gonna be like asking all kinds of questions and like loudly commenting on everything, and I was just like, I just want to get my tofu and get out of here.
Right.
I
don't know if I mentioned it in our last actual gutter trash episode, but last week when I went to the restaurant across the street at the grocery store, and like I was waiting on my food, and this guy came in and he like sat down like 2 seats away from me, and like he was fidgeting around a lot, and like he was trying to like get himself settled, and then he like finally did, and like I was just just waiting on my food, and like I was looking at my phone because like my mom was calling me, and then my friend Amanda was texting me, and so like things were happening.
You weren't just like doing that. Oh, I'm using my phone thing.
Yeah,
right, you really were.
Yeah, and so like I'm looking at my phone, and I think I maybe looked up at the TV at one point, and like he was like, "So Cincinnati's got a big weekend ahead of them." And I just went back to my phone because clearly he wasn't talking to me.
Were there any other people in there?
Nope. But I mean, I wasn't wearing anything Cincinnati related. I was busy on my phone. There was nothing that could have given him any hints that I would be interested in any kind of situation.
But you looked at that
in
TV.
Which we would discuss Cincinnati.
You looked at the TV.
And I don't even necessarily know what he was talking about Cincinnati-wise.
Right.
Like maybe he knew that I work there in Cincinnati.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, I'm gonna guess he was probably talking about the Bengals.
Right. Because baseball's over.
Baseball is mostly over. Yeah. The World Series is
at least for the Reds. It's
for the Reds, it's been over for a couple weeks. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, clearly could not have possibly been talking to me.
Right.
So.
Yeah. And it's weird because it's just certain times you don't feel like talking.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I really don't mind. And I've actually met people, just talking in public.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. But yeah.
For me, it's all the time. I don't want to talk to anyone.
All the time ever. Yeah. Right. All right.
If you talk to me in public and I don't know you, then something is wrong with you.
What if they're like, sir, your car's on fire?
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So a superhero or something. That's what you'd be.
Yeah. How about you?
The very last time that I had thought about making any sort of Halloween plans or whatever, that I then fell through and then have fallen through forever. But like back when my ex-girlfriend and I started dating, like she had this big plan and then she bailed on me. Why did I date her for so long? But because I loved her. I was going to dress up as the American Scream from the Peter Milligan Shade the Changing Man series. I was going to try to find like just a ratty like red suit or something like that, and then like make it dirty. And I had like a big American flag like top hat thing.
Oh yeah.
Just sort of get like a skull mask or something like that.
That would be awesome. Yeah. Like nobody would get it, but they would just be like, "Oh, he's some kooky Halloween monster." Yeah. Yeah. But the one guy that did get it though, he would approach you in public and be like, "Don't talk to me."
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to remember. Was I more social 12 years ago?
I don't think I really knew you back then.
Yeah, we knew each other.
12 years ago?
Uh-huh. I was working at Mavericks.
Okay, that was 12 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. Well, it's been a fun Halloween season.
It has been.
I've enjoyed all this.
I have as well. I mean, maybe not some of the stuff that we viewed, but
Right.
I enjoyed the act of doing it,
Right.
and talking about it,
Yeah.
and hanging out with some good people,
Mm-hmm.
mostly.
They were all good people.
Mostly.
Yeah.
No, they're all fine.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm not even sure which one you were jokingly referring to.
Oh, I think you could probably guess.
Okay, I think I know who you're talking about.
But yeah, I think we'll take off here, and I just want to thank the listener for putting up with all this bullshit.
Yeah, definitely.
I want to thank Amanda Thomas for coming on the show, first-time guest. I
Yeah.
want to thank our regular Halloween contributor, Matt Brassfield.
You can't have a Halloween without a Matt Brassfield.
It's really not Halloween without Matt
Right.
Brassfield.
Yeah.
And second-time guest, Stephen Alexander. And, of course, our other Halloween regular, Kathleen Coyle. And Joe G.
Yeah.
For, who apparently fucking now just loves Spider Baby.
Yeah. That's awesome.
It's super awesome.
It was like fermenting and gestating in his body.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it's been fun. And I have to be
Okay.
horribly.
Yeah. Well, you go do that.
All right.
And I might, I don't know what I'll do.
You'll
I'll just sit here in silence.
okay. Thanks for listening. See you next year.
Yeah.
Or
Tomorrow.
yeah.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, everybody. Thank you for listening to Gutter Trash. You can subscribe to the show from guttertrash.net or from iTunes and leave us a review. Visit guttertrash.net for email information, links to our Facebook and Twitter pages, and for other podcasts and websites in the Gutter Trash Network. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time.